Welcome back. It's Liberation Day. Donald Trump will, in a couple of hours, deliver his tariff speech, imposing tariffs on American produce all over the world. It could cause trade wars. It could cause all sorts of chaos. But don't worry, folks. We're taking a calm and pragmatic approach, so we should be all right. Thank you, Keir. We are in the hands of a total idiot, I'll tell you. I'm still with Isabel Oakeshott, the Talk's international editor. You alerted me to this one, and you were quite right too, Isabel. Another stupefying snapshot of the dysfunctional chaos of Britain's hopeless handling of the migrant crisis. So a couple of years back, Rishi Sunak launched a £4 million a year scheme. And it was to get rid of dangerous Albanian prisoners. We've got something like 10,000 foreign prisoners in our jails altogether. 1,200 of them are Albanian, and 200 of them are extremely dangerous. We're talking about murderers, rapists, drug barons, really dangerous people. So the deal was that we would help Albania by the way, helping to modernise their prisons. Why? Also, we bought for them a fleet of net zero electric jail vans that were made by Porsche. So we invested a load of money in them. This scheme is costing £4 million a year, so we're now £8 million into it. And after 2 years, the sum total of the dangerous prisoners we've managed to deport back to Albania is 8. If you break it all down, that comes to £537,000 per prisoner. I mean, this just sums up how aimlessly useless this country is at dealing with this ongoing and indeed escalating migrant crisis, doesn't it?
I mean, it's completely ridiculous. So I feel quite invested in this story because it was a few years ago that I did an exclusive story that exposed the number of Albanians coming over here on these small boats across the channel, which seems in a very bizarre way for them to come here. And the reason that they use this route is because invariably they are linked to organised crime, and they want to evade the normal routes of detection, and they know that once they're put up in a nice hotel, they can just melt away and do whatever they're supposed to be doing for the gangmasters here in the UK. And after that, the whole Albania dimension to illegal immigration really rocketed up the agenda, up the news agenda, and Rishi Sunak responded with this scheme, which, as you say, was much trumpeted, continually boasting about this sort of radical new scheme and an initiative to cooperate with the government of Albania to sort this out.
Breakthrough, major breakthrough.
I mean, brilliant breakthrough. 8 Albanian criminals
after 2 years.
Bloody marvellous. What a fantastic use of taxpayers' money. And what the hell is the British taxpayer doing putting money into Albanian prisons? I mean, what? And why are we helping them net zero their police vehicles or prison vans or whatever that was? Just ridiculous. We cannot be the kind of charity of the world. This just isn't sustainable.
It seems to be our approach to the migrant crisis, our national kind of condition when it comes to this situation, that we just give loads of money to foreign countries. So today, France magically conceded that perhaps for the more than €500 million that we've given them to patrol their own beaches and stop the boats, another one of Rishi's great initiatives, that was, 2 years ago or something, they did concede that today that perhaps they hadn't done enough. And perhaps they ought to do a little more for the money we've given them. But, even this ridiculous conference summit that he had, this Smash the Gang summit that Keir Starmer hosted this week in London, where 40 the representatives of 40 nations came to London to talk about smashing the gangs. I mean, it involved us giving hundreds of millions to other countries. All we do is if we give you £20 million, can you stop your people coming to our country? Oh, yeah, thanks for the money. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Thank you. Oh, that'll be good. You know, we might as well set fire to this money. It is so impotent. Turn the boats round, detain, deport, arrest these people when they get here. Don't give them 45 quid a week. Don't give them 4-star hotels. Don't give them lawyers, doctors, dentists, free food and anything they want. Try that. That might work, mightn't it?
Well, what we should actually be demanding from the French is an almighty refund. You know, never mind considering them, giving them any more. I think we should probably be suing the French for our money back, because it's not just that they haven't done enough for our money, it's that they've actually done the very reverse of what we were trying to pay them not to do. So instead of actually stopping the boats coming, there's ample evidence, including from the Sun newspaper's exclusive last week, that the French are actually encouraging these migrants to come to Britain. And why wouldn't they? Because it just waves the problem over in our direction. I get it. You know, it makes every sense if you're the French, but let's not pay them to do this. And on the contrary, let's punish them if they do. Perhaps it's time to get really tough. Perhaps we should be using access to our fishing waters as a bit of a bargaining chip here. I mean, how about maybe if the French are not going to cooperate, and in fact they're going to actually do things that are the reverse and send migrants our way, maybe it's time we impound a few of their fishing boats. How about that?
Absolutely. Well, how about just turn the boats round, or even if they get to Britain, just take them back to France. Dump them on the beaches, you know, hundreds of them. And when France say, well, what are we supposed to do with them? Well, we don't really know, but I tell you what you can do to look after them a bit. You can use some of that £500 million we gave to you. How about that? You know, exactly. As opposed to doing nothing for the £500 million we gave you. It's a joke. Now, if I hear one more cabinet minister, one more Labour idiot, or for that matter, Tory idiot, saying, what we've got to do is we've got to increase cooperation with the French. We have to sit down with the French. What is it about the French are never going to do anything to help us with the migrant crisis that these people don't understand? Why don't they understand this?
I don't know why they don't understand it. I know it's really easy to see, isn't it? I mean, you only have to spend a bit of time down there and talk to a few people to know what's going on. We know that what they literally do is encourage them to the midline and say they're going to be picked up, so on you go on your way. You know, head over those waters, and on the other side is the land of milk and honey, which frankly, if you've come from Eritrea, it is the land of milk and honey, at least for a bit.
Let me tell you a quick story just before we go to break. I'm kind of doing a bit of a spoiler because we've got this exclusive coming up at 8 o'clock. But do you remember recently another one of our exclusives from the town of Folkestone, lovely seaside town with a port, obviously, on the front line of the migrant crisis. The people of Folkestone can see them coming across in their boats day in, day out. Anyway, we had a story about 2-3 weeks ago, very good story, that Kent County Council had spent over the past year more than £20 million giving asylum seekers, not people who've been given the right to stay here, just temporary migrants, driving lessons and driving tests. People of Kent paying for their £20 million in the last year. Well, at 8 o'clock we're going to reveal, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but what the hell. We're going to reveal what Folkestone's migrant bill, 60,000 people I think live in Folkestone, what that town's migrant bill has been for the last 5 years. £30 million. £30 million. One town on the south coast. We have to pay for this, and we have governments that do nothing about it. That's one town. I mean, we are being plunged into penury by hopeless politicians who show no resolve with this crisis. We've got to do something more than let's sit down with the French, let's give some other countries money, let's smash the gangs. No, turn the boats round, arrest these people, don't let them stay, do something, because they're not doing anything. It's getting worse.
Exactly, and maybe if he's going to be smashing the vile people smuggling gangs, maybe he should start smashing some of the people in this, I don't mean literally, just to be clear, that are feeding off this industry in the UK. How about these totally unethical lawyers that are making a pretty penny out of the public purse by trying to play the system year in, year out on behalf of illegal immigrants that they know perfectly well have no case whatsoever for asylum or should be deported on other grounds, and yet they take up these cases and they encourage the applicants to frankly not tell the truth, to make up all sorts of nonsense about the reasons they've fled from wherever it is they've come as an economic migrant. These are people who should not be allowed to get away with this ill-gotten professional behaviour. I mean, it's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we pay for them, the legal aid. I mean, the fact we've got these people break into our country, these foreign criminals break into our country illegally, and then we, bestow upon them, hundreds of thousands of pounds each for their legal fees in order to fight their case to stay here. It is so ridiculous. And this is a classic Labour solution to the problem of the long asylum seeker list. So it's getting longer and longer and longer, 108,000, 110,000 people waiting to find out whether or not their applications will be approved of. So in order to speed this process up, Labour have it hasn't come into play yet, but it will at the end of the year. Labour's solution is give immigration lawyers more money in legal aid, and then they'll be more efficient getting through the asylum seeker cases. So that's Labour's solution. Give immigration lawyers more of government money. Good, isn't it?
Except it's not government money, it's
our money. Our money, yeah. It's just, it's perverse is what it is.